All right, guys. So today we'll be going over risk management. There's two parts to risk management. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of rules. Then I have a slideshow as well. And then I also have like an example of using risk management, per your account size. So, and I'm going to show you guys how to like play with the numbers to decide what's your number because we all have different account sizes and we'll go from there. So put this in your notes, right? There are four rules when it comes to risk management that you want to follow, right? And those four rules are you want to control risk, you want to have an exit plan, risk to reward, and maintaining discipline, right? Those are your four rules, right? Without those four rules, and you're trading at this point, you're not a trader, you're a gambler. You're gambling if you can't understand these four rules, right? So, number one, as far as when it comes to controlling risk, the reason why controlling risk is important is because a lot of people trade the wrong way, right? One bad trade can take their whole account out, and that's because they haven't managed risk properly. That's the problem. Like if you get into a trade where you're putting your account, losing your whole account at jeopardy, that means that you're not controlling your risk. I had a trader, actually, I'm glad that we went over risk management today because on Friday, I had a trader that was in Tesla. No, it was Thursday until Friday. So I had a trader that was in Tesla on Thursday, and they pretty much YOLO'd their entire account, right? And they were basically saying, hey, Tesla needs to work or y'all won't see me for a year because I got to refund my account. And saying stuff like that, that means that person did not control their risk. So they're basically hoping that the market goes in their direction or their account is gone. And understand this, guys, trading, that's one of the benefits about trading is you're able to live life how you want to live, right? You're able to have the freedom. So why are you YOLOing your whole entire account on a particular trade when you have your whole life to make money, right? You know that if you YOLO your account, right? I don't know how everybody's financial situations are, but a lot of people just can't lose their whole entire account and then refund it the next day, right? They're going to have to, go back to work or do whatever and refund their accounts. So that's the problem, right? So you don't want to be put in a position to where you have to go through something like that. So you want to control your risk. So one bad trade should not blow your entire account. Also, when it comes to controlling risk, you want to control the amount you risk on each trade, right? And we're going to get into that. We're going to show you some examples or whatever, but you want to control the amount you risk per trade. Next, now I get a lot of backlash when it comes to this because a lot of people don't really agree with this, but I have to be realistic with you guys. I know the thing that you see online, never risk more than 2% of your account, never risk more than 1% of your account. I know how hard that is, especially for people that got like $1,000 accounts and they're telling you not to risk more than 1%. That's a dollar. No, I just said that so wrong. My bad. That's $10 on $1,000 account. So, understand like if after time that just gets really hard, right? So the way I do it is I don't risk more than 5 and 10% of my account per trade. So like, for example, if I have $1,000 account, I don't want to lose over $100. I mean, I don't want to put over $100 in my thousand. If I have getting tongue twisted a little bit. If I have $1,000 account, I don't want to risk more than $100 on that trade, right? I want to break that trade up, and that's 10% is my max, right? Now we don't obviously. I'm not saying lose 10% of your account, guys. I think people get that wrong, right? If you got $1,000 account, and I'm saying risk no more than 10% of that, which is $100. That don't mean lose $100, guys. That don't mean lose that you can lose that 10%. That's not how that works. And I'm going to show you exactly what percentages I use in a minute, but that's what people don't understand too. Like if you're losing 10% of your account on a trading day, you messed up. You did something wrong. You shouldn't be losing 10% of your account on a trading day. So we already know anything above that is crazy. That means you're not managing your risk, right? You're not controlling your risk. There's only a few things that we can control in the market, and risk is one of them. How much we lose per trade is one of the things that we can control, right? We want to control what we can control, right? Can we control what the stock chart do? Can we control what the market do? No. So how do you win in trading if you can't control where the stock price is heading, right? Controlling your risk, right? That is how we win. So I hope that made sense. Next, this one is pretty much important. This is kind of the type of trader that I am. I am a risk to reward trader, right? So every trade that I take, to make it make sense, every trade that I take have to have some type of great risk to reward ratio just for me to take it. That's like my number one, right? I'm not taking a trade that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not taking a trade that I'm barely going to, have a nice risk to reward ratio on. So what I mean by that is, if I'm risking, $1,000, I at least want half of that, right? Or I'm not even going to consider the trade. So if I'm risking $100 to make, $10, to me, that's just not a good risk to reward ratio. I don't know about you guys, but to me, that just don't make sense to me. Why am I risking $100 to make $10? You know what I mean? So for me, I like to have at least half of my investment. But when I take a trade, I know I at least can make at least half of my investment back. I mean, more, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm risking $1,000, that particular trade has to have potential to at least give me $500 in profit, or I don't want to take the trade. And I know I'm gonna have those people say, well, Jay, not every trade is going to be like that. I understand that. I totally understand that not every trade is going to give me 50% of my money back, but I damn sure not going to take it, right? I put it this way, trading is a game where, there's no guarantee, you know what I mean? So if there's no guarantee, then I at least want something that's going to give me the highest probability, right? So if it's not there, then I just don't take it. Doing it this way has allowed me to grow my accounts faster than pretty much any of the people that I meet, is because, like, while you busy there trying to scout, $1,000 to make 5% or whatever, I'm just gonna sit back and wait till the bigger trade present. That's just me. Now, I know I'm gonna have my scalpers or whatever. That's something totally different. But I'm just saying, as far as when it comes to risk to reward, that is one of my key things that I look for when I look at a setup. Can it make me my money back, right? Can it make me more or at least half of what I just put in? And that's how I take my trade. So yes, there'll be times where you guys be like, hey, Jay ain't said nothing all day. Jay ain't seen a trade that's going to give him at least 50% of his money back. So I hope that makes sense. So your goal is to gain more if you're right than you might lose if you're wrong, right? I don't know if that just made sense. Let's repeat that. Your goal is to gain more if you're right than you might lose if you're wrong. So let's put that into numbers, right? So if I'm buying something and I'm putting $1,000 in the trade, right? If I have a 10% stop loss on $1,000, that means I'm willing to lose $100. So if I'm taking that trade, basically, I want to take a trade that I know, or we don't know what the stock is going to do, but I'm just saying the way we set it up with our levels and everything, I want to take a trade that I know that I'm at least gain more than $100. Did that do that? Yeah, the comment, it's so weird. The comment's not off, so I can't even get feedback right now. But basically, if I know I could potentially lose a max of $100 on this trade, I at least want to have a greater, I want to at least gain more than $100 than I might lose if I'm wrong, right? That's all that means. Next, this is good. And we have a whole stop loss class about all the brokers that you guys use, except for Webull. I'm gonna get with one of the other mods to do the Webull one. I don't use Webull, so I'm real transparent. I'm not going to try to teach you something that I don't use, right? So this is real important. Hold on, let me fix this. Okay, so this one is really important, right? So we're going to set our target, right, where we want to take profits twice the distance of your stop to achieve at least 1 to 2, right? So what I mean by this is, let's say that you're getting into a trade. You want to set your price target or where you're going to take profit. So if you bought Apple at $100, you're going to automatically, this is key, I do this all the time, right? If you bought Apple at $100 per contract, I'm already set. You can do this on Thinkorswim, Robinhood, whatever. You can already set your limit sell for 1.50, right? That's half of the distance of where, so you can at least get a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. I do this all the time, right? So wherever it has, so to put another number, if I bought, something for $200, I'm gonna set it, 50% of that. I don't know if that made sense. We're going to get into that more when we get into charts. But like I said, I only take trades that's going to give me at least minimum 50% of my investment back, right? So next, type in the chat, guys. I need some feedback. Is everything making sense so far in the main chat and Minty's floor? Everything making sense? Am I losing nobody? So why are they doing that? Okay. Hold on, guys. Okay. So, all right. So next is management discipline, right? I could teach you guys 1,000 of different things, right? But managing discipline is going to be a key. And we're going to get into an actual slideshow in a minute here. But managing discipline. So these are the only things that I do. It's just 3 steps of managing discipline. And it is expect the unexpected always, right? So that means a lot of you guys get into trades where you don't even, you just feel like the stock is going to go your way, right? You don't expect the unexpected, right? You just think that if Tesla calls, Teslas are only going to go up, right? That's all that you guys think. Like, you're not even preparing for a Tesla to go down. You're not preparing to exit that trade at a loss, right? A lot of you guys get into these trades where you literally only expect it to go your way. Hold on, guys. Hey guys, can you stop sending these things, because it's kind of like stopping the class a little bit. Okay, so sorry about that. Somebody has sent they were sending something and where it was popping up on my screen, so I couldn't read. So yeah, next is you want to plan and prepare. Some of you guys, and I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get onto all of this on how I plan and prepare for the day. But you want to plan and prepare. A lot of you guys wake up in the morning, don't have no type of plan that you're going to do today, and you just jump in, right? You don't have no type of preparation. You just jumping in, or you find a chart as you wake up and then you just say, I'm gonna trade that. No, when trading, guys, you have to plan and prepare for it. Like, you have to literally have a set of rules. You have to have your watch list ready. And when the market opens, that's not the time to find a trade. That's where a lot of you guys get messed up at. You wait for the market to open and be open for a minute to then try to find what you're going to trade that day. That's not how it works, right? You want to have a game plan. So when the market is open, that's when it's nothing but execution, right? There's nothing but execution once the market opens. A lot of you guys, you just, like I said, you come intraday and you try to make something happen. No, it has to already be there. Whenever I trade, guys, I'm not looking for something during the day. Now, I might look, if I look for something during the day, it's not to take that day, it's to take another day, right? I plan my trades before the market open. Like right now, the market is closed right now. So now is a time where I will plan my trades for tomorrow. Now, when pre-market comes and the market start opening up, that's when you make adjustments and you adapt to your plan that you already have prepared. But don't try to make a whole plan as soon as when the market is open, right? When the market is open, all I'm doing is executing the plans that I had the day before, or whenever I made my plan, right? That's all it is. It's simply execution. If I say that I'm gonna take Tesla above 700, that's already been set. So then when it gets to 700 and everything is going, it's closing above 700, it's ready to go, it's meeting all my criteria to take that trade, it's execution time, guys. Take the trade. That's what we have that acronym for, TTDT, right? Take the damn trade. That is what the market is for, right? Once it hits your plan and it meets your criteria, take the trade. You done did all that work. Take the trade. That is why a lot of you guys, you will have this plan and you will say that the stock is going here and you will say that it's going here. Some of you guys are paper trading millionaires. Some of you guys are Robinhood watch list millionaires. What I mean, if you don't know what I mean by that, a lot of people make a lot of money in paper trading, but then when they use their actual money, they just can't seem to find consistency. And that's simply because you don't want to execute, right? You don't want to execute and you don't want to follow a plan. The reason why you can be making money on paper trading versus your real account is because, at least with that paper trading, you're executing, you're following a plan. right? You're following a plan. You eliminated your emotions out of it. Now you're following a plan. And that's the reason why your paper trading account can grow, but your real account can't. But it's all good. I'm not here to get on nobody. I'm just trying to explain, why that happens. So I hope all this makes sense. And lastly, follow your rules always. And I know this is hard, right? I know it's hard for me. There are days that I tell myself that I should not be trading. And then I guess what I go do? I go and trade and then I lose money. Now, there's little things that I do now that has helped me, and one of the things that I do is, for example, I'm on vacation. I have a tendency of losing money while I'm on vacation. I don't know what it is, but whenever I get on vacation, shit hit the fan, right? I don't know what it is. The market just seems to be always choppy as hell when I go on vacation. I don't know, right? So what I started doing was when I'm on vacation, I trade $1,000 account, right? I do never use my main account while I'm on vacation. Today, what did I do? I broke that rule and I lost $5,000. You see what I'm saying? But my plan was to only use $1,000 account. Y'all see what I'm saying, right? When I say follow your rules always, you can avoid a lot of things if you just simply follow your rules. I literally just told you guys, whenever I go on vacation, I told myself I'm only going to trade $1,000 account the entire vacation, right? That way I'm not able to lose all, I'm able to, if I notice, because I travel a lot, if I notice that I lose a lot of money when I'm traveling, then to save money is just to eliminate that. So I eliminated that by trading only $1,000 account the whole entire time while on vacation. You see what happened? I broke my rule and then I lost $5,000, right? And this is why it's important to follow your rules, is because the minute that you don't follow them, bad things happen. But this is the worst thing that can happen for a trader, right? Let's say that they have a set of rules planned and then they win on the trade. That is the worst thing that happened. See, I'm not mad. I'm glad. I'm actually, like, I know that sounds crazy because, like, you said, Jay, wow, like you glad that you lost $5,000. In a way, yeah, I'm actually glad. Damn, I should have lost 10, really, if we're being honest. But the reason why is because I think long term, right? If I don't take these losses, these lessons, not even losses, if I don't take these lessons now, later on down the road when I'm trading, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million account, if I use these same, undisciplined ways on those type of accounts, you can tell the type of hits that I'm gonna take in the future. You know what I mean? So when I break my rules, I'm actually glad when I lose, because what it's doing is teaching me to not do it. You know what I mean? So while the rest of the time I'm on vacation, can you guess what I'm gonna do? Not trade a big account, right? And that's me listening to my rules, right? So I want you guys to, for homework tonight, we're about to go into some more stuff, but for homework tonight, I want you guys to set not actual trading strategy rules, but I want you to set like maintaining discipline rules, at least 3 of them. So my rules are, like I just said, expect the unexpected, right? Plan and prepare, and follow these rules, right? So I want you to go in and I want you guys to make some, plan some rules and put it in the chat. What's your rules? And then we're going to reflect on it. And I got another homework assignment for you guys as well, but that's number 1. So we're going to make some rules that you're going to follow, right? In every scenario, I have rules set for any situation that I'm in, right? If I'm flying, don't trade at all. If I'm out of town, trade $1,000 account. If I got family over, don't trade, it's stuff like that, plans, any rules that don't matter. So, all right, that part about it, the 4 steps, I explained those. That's kind of what it is. If you have to go back and watch it, that's totally fine. But now I'm going to pause the recording so I can pull up the second part of the risk management class. Pull another recording, the slideshow. Some of you guys already seen this on my YouTube, but it's okay. We're going to go over it again. We got 3 parts to this. So let me pause it. All right, so this is part 2 of the risk management class. I know this is on my YouTube and a lot of people already seen it, but I do like to recap on this just so you guys can understand, because I'm real big on risk management. This is how to, stay in the game longer. Okay, so why is risk management important, right? Managing your risk allows you to stay in the game longer. Your number 1 goal as a trader is to protect your capital, guys. That's your number 1 goal, right? We're all here to protect our capital. So referring back to what we just went over on the first part of the risk management class was not one bad trade. should blow your entire account. This is what we're talking about, right? You'll want to protect your capital. Also, next, understanding no trade is 100% guaranteed. So every trade you take, you will face the risk of losing money. We all know that, right? And I think a lot of people don't know that. And that's the reason why they jump into these trades. They see a bull flag, they see the MACD crossing up, the EMA's golden crossing, the Elon and tweeted about something real good, and all this news about it. Somebody then bought a 50 million shares of that, like all of that stuff, right? And I know people literally like, man, the market is a scam. I understand nothing is 100% guaranteed, no matter what, guys. No matter what, nothing is 100% guaranteed. The only thing that is 100% guaranteed is how much your max potential loss per that trade. That's the only thing that's 100% guaranteed. And people say, Jay, well, how do you know? Bro, if you tell yourself that I'm only going to lose the max amount is $100 on this trade, that's the only thing you should be willing to lose, right? So that's 100% guaranteed, right? That's the only thing you can control. So just control that. Even with a high winning percentage, without the proper risk management, you will end up blowing your account, right? So that means, let's say you're one of those traders that actually, because we have some of them that have a very high winning percentage. Like they always win. Like you can always, them. Like we know these traders in the chat where they always posting how they win the trade, but then you come to find out their account only at, their account still dropping, depleting. Even though they be winning, it's because, they might win 10 trades, but then that one trade that they lose on wipe out them 10 games. Right. And this happens so much. Like I see this all the time. Every time I look after we have like a nice little winning streak, because normally what happens is the market starts trending, right? It starts trending in a direction, either an uptrend or a downtrend. Then what happens after a trend, guys? What happens after an impulsive move, guys? What happens after an impulsive move? Put it in the chat real quick. I want to see if somebody gonna get it right. What happens after an impulsive move? Correction, right? So this is why people blow their accounts, right? We have an impulsive move, and then we have a correction. And what happens is people end up blowing their accounts in that correction because they've seen that the market just been pushing up or, pushing up for so long. So what do? They're going to jump in on the impulsive move, get caught in the correction, and they're going to blow their accounts, or they're going to wipe out all of the gains they got from that impulsive move, right? And that is where risk management comes in, that is to avoid stuff like that. And that's been happening a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it seemed like every time that we have a huge move in one direction, like almost immediately the market goes back into this choppy phase to where it just chops up accounts, right? I don't know if I'm the only one to notice that, but that's kind of what's been happening. So people will make all of this money, and then they will just give it right back once that correction phase come through. Correction phases can be consolidation. It could be ranging. It could be, that this and that. And that is why I know this ain't that class for it yet. I'm gonna get to y'all. I'm gonna get to this class later, but understand, guys, this is why I tell people, they be like, oh man, Tesla then ran up $200, in 3 days. I'm about to run a put because they got to go back down. And then what happens is they buy a put because Tesla start to maybe pull back just a little bit. And then they wonder why they still lose money, even though, they bought a put and it's starting to come down. It's most likely because it's not coming down like a straight shot. It's chopping, it's ranging before it comes down, because you have to understand the market moves in waves. Now, I know I'm not trying to get off topic, but I'm just trying to get out of the game. The market moves in waves, guys. Impulse, correction, impulse. So why the hell are you buying puts after a market just made an impulsive move up? We have to have a correction first before the next impulsive move comes. And this is where people get chopped up in that range or that consolidation. And this is why they lose money. That's a quick little tip for you guys. Next is, you cannot avoid losses, but you can avoid big losses. The key to trading long-term is to minimize losses, right? That's the key. The key to trading long-term is to minimize losses. We're going to get into that. All right, so why do traders fail? These are reasons why traders fail. Guys, I like to focus on the reasons why people fail rather than what they're doing to be successful. This is just me, right? That is actually one of the ways that I became profitable. It didn't take me that long to become profitable. It's because while everybody else was focusing on things that, how to make money in the market, I was focusing on how not to lose money in the market. I think that was my, advantage to be in where I'm at today so quickly, is because the things that I focused on, right? I was focusing on the boring stuff, as people say, like the boring stuff. Like a lot of people, I guaranteed you right now, after I upload this class, I'm telling y'all right now, we can put money on it, whoever want to bet. Well, after I upload this class, right, I guaranteed you my day trading strategy video after when I teach y'all is going to have more views than this one. I guaranteed you. I promise you right now, my day trading video, when I show y'all like my strategy and everything, is going to have more views than the risk management one. Watch, guaranteed you. And the reason why is because people literally only focus on how they can win rather than, managing their risk and, keep from losing that much. But so this is why they fail. No risk management, no trading plan. They don't have a plan. They just trade whatever. No trading strategy. Some of you guys, you might have a trading plan, but you don't have an actual strategy. Like you can't be a swing trader but want scalper profits. You can't be a day trader but want swing trading profits. You can't be all of that. You got to pick what type of trader that you want to be, and you want to focus on that. Like, yeah, you're going to know how to do other things, right? You want to know how to scout. You want to know how to day trade. You want to know how to swing trade. You want to know how to do all three. But you as a trader have to figure out what type of trader you want to be and what trader aligns with your lifestyle, right? For me, scalping is not really me, right? I personally don't have the attention span to sit down here and stare at the charts the whole entire time while I'm in a trade. I just don't have that in me. I start wanting to, cut losses a little too soon, or to me, scalping is not for me. I like to let my plays work out. I don't really like, with scalping, you got to kind of be quick in and out. I don't really like that. I kind of like to let my plays develop over time. But that's just, but I know how to scalp. I know how to scalp really good. I used to be a scalper. That's kind of what really, if we be honest, that's really what, took my account from, a couple thousands to, a bigger account from scalping. But then once I got that bigger account, I realized how much money I can make without doing that, because I didn't like, if I'm wrong, being wrong quickly, if that makes sense. Big losses, of course, right? We only have so much money. We keep taking big losses. Eventually, we're not going to have any money left, right? Trading from predictions and opinions. This is another big one, right? I hear this all the time in the chat. Guys, I am in Blueprint, right? So I see a lot of the times that everybody want to be a predictor. Everybody want to have their opinions. Everybody want to do this. Look, guys, the market can care less about your predictions, literally, or your opinions, right? It could care less, right? Now, I know sometimes we get to a point where we do make predictions, right? Trading is an educated guess, right? So understand that. But at the same time, if you're solely trading off of just predictions and opinions, yeah, you're going to fail, right? You might get lucky sometimes, but overall, long term, you're going to fail, right? You're not going to last long in the trading game. One of the things that I had when I very first started teaching, I had a trader that I met, and she had a pretty decent account. I think she had about 11 grand in her account, or some pretty nice size for a beginner. And one of the things, I was just, this is when I don't do this no more, but when I very first started, I just kind of like look at people's portfolios, kind of just seeing like what are they doing, what are they, what are they doing wrong, or trying to figure out their mindset and just how they look at certain things. So she had a lot of trades that I was just kind of figuring out. I just wanted to know why, right? So I asked her. I said, why do you have? Because she had Bank of America puts or something. I'm like, this is a true story, guys, and I'm saying this for a reason. She had Bank of America puts. When I tell y'all why she had them, it's gonna be crazy. So I said, why do you have Bank of America puts? What did you see to buy Bank of America puts? This girl gonna say, because they be taking fees out of my account when I overdraft. And I just feel like people gonna start complaining, and they're not going to do that. They're going to get that banned or something. Something like that. I'm just sitting there like, you have $5 grand in puts because you think they care about your damn fees. Like that literally made no sense. And I mean, she was down like 80% because of that. And I was just like, bro, like this is a true story. Like this is a legit story because of the fees. And that is what I mean. This is why. And actually it's crazy because I actually recently seen her. She's actually not trading anymore. And you can probably guess why, because she's trading from predictions and opinions. And that's why, right? So she had lost like $8,000 in that trade because of that reason. And it was just like, why? You know what I'm saying? So that's a quick little story for you guys. This is a true story. I'm not gonna put her name up, but this is a true story. Next is, this is key, watching your P&L and not the charts, right? Guys, anybody that live traded with me before, you guys know that I do not have my live P&L up right off the bat. And I always show you guys after, once the trade is over with or something like that. But if you notice, while I'm trading, I never have my P&L showing, right? And it's not to keep it from you guys. No, it's just, I don't want to look at it. Right? I want to focus just on the charts. The reason why I got in, is it still valid? I want to focus on that, right? I don't care about watching my P&L. The problem is when you start watching your P&L, if you don't know what P&L is, your profit losses, right? The problem is if you start looking at, let's say you start looking at your profit, right? And you're up, more than what you wanted, right? And you start looking at it, or just say that you're watching your profit and you just up and you just like, man, my card note is due. I can just go ahead and take this money now, right? And whole time you did all that work and you saying that the stock is going to continue to go up. And then, you take your little money and then the stock end up going up 100, 200, 300%. And you get upset that you missed out on that trade. And it's because you were watching your P&L, right? Also, the same thing works for losses. You are in a trade and, you're down a couple of $100 or whatever, and you start watching that loss. And then now you say F the charts and you just start watching that loss. Then you start cutting the trade. The whole time the trade might have still been valid, right? But you were watching your P&L too much. So that's one thing. You want to get into a habit of paying attention to the charts, right? Not your P&L. Now, if you want to have your P&L up, that's totally fine. But if you catch yourself looking at your P&L too much, just take it off and just focus on the charts. I promise you. Next is emotions, right? We all know that emotions have a big deal with our trading, right? We're emotional beings. We all know this. I'm pretty sure all you guys heard that. So I'm not going to get into full detail on emotions. We all know about emotions. We have classes for this. That's what I'm adding to this mentorship. Just help dealing with emotions. We do have breaks where, like, if we just come off of a stressful day, I'm just like, hey guys, get on Zoom real quick. We about to have a talk. So as far as emotions go though, right? You just want to make sure that you're managing your emotions. Trading should be, honestly, guys, trading should be kind of like a robot, right? I'm getting into a trade. I set my stop loss. I'm not arguing with it, right? Yesterday, I took CrowdStrike puts. I bought CrowdStrike puts at $200 per contract. My stop loss was $150 per contract. I set my stop loss there. Look, it was coming back down to my stop loss. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm transparent. I did want to move my stop loss because I did not want to get stopped out. If you can see today, if you looked at CrowdStrike, if I would have never got stopped out and I would have held that trade, we would have been up over 100% today. But overall, I got stopped out. I missed 100% move, right? But that's what you have to understand. Trading should be, your emotions shouldn't be into trading, right? You have a plan, you set it and you let it go, right? Once you get in that trade, once you set that stop loss, there's no arguing with it. There's no arguing with it. I literally legit see people don't even use a stop loss, or they just, as they get closer to their stop loss, they move it. They're like, man, if I just move it a couple, no. I could have moved my stop loss a couple more dollars and I actually would have won on that trade, right? But I wasn't arguing with myself, right? I set the stop loss, it hit it, boom, deal is done. Same way with what we take today. What I lose today on Baba. Same way with Baba. I set my stop loss, it hit, it is what it is, right? I'm not arguing with it, right? It hits it, it's boom. I'm out the trade. Move on to the next one. Next is stressful trading, guys. Not every trade. We understand trading is stressful, but it's not every trade is meant to be stressful, right? How many of you guys have actually been in a stressful trade? Like a trade that, it just made you feel so bad after them. Like, you might not even have lost much money, but just from the trade going up, down, barely falling or barely going your way, and then when they go your way, it pulls it back. How many guys have actually been in a stressful trade, right? If you catch yourself in a stressful trade, guys, what I do now is I don't care about the charts no more. If I see a stock that's doing something like that, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it and just forget it, right? I hate trades like that. Once I in one, I just forget it. I took one like this. I lost $300. Was that Friday? No, not Friday. Was that Monday? I think it was yesterday. I had a stressful trade. Forgot what it was, but I was just like, I didn't lose that much money, but I was just stressed. Like I was just like, bro, it just like, man, like it was just annoying. You know what I mean? So that type of trades it was yesterday. It was Amazon. That's what it was. So yeah, that's that. Let me move this real quick. Hold on, guys. We almost done. Then we're gonna go over the thing I was telling you about in a minute. Then we're done. I ain't gonna try to hold y'all that long. Okay, next. So basically, how do we fix it? Becoming a profitable trader isn't as hard as everyone thinks. You just need a trading plan that generates bigger winners and smaller losers. I already sent you guys my Trade Zelly recap. If you look at my Trade Zelly recap, guys, you know, it literally shows you that my winners are bigger than my losers. Never said that I'm winning all that time. Actually, I was kind of upset because if you don't know what Trade Zelly is, it's a trading journal, and that you can't like cap on it, like you can't like lie on it or nothing. Like it's legit. Like it's going to take exactly what's coming from your brokerage account and it's putting it in, right? So whatever it says is whatever it say, right? You can't switch it or nothing. That's what I like about it. So actually, which caught me off guard was Trey Zelly said that my winning percentage was 69%. And I was kind of shocked. I'm like, damn, it's only 69%, right? So I was analyzing, why is my percentage that low? And a lot of the reasons is, as far as winning percentage, those little board trades or those little YOLOs, those things adds up. So that's why my winning percentage were a little lower than I literally thought mine was in the 80s or whatever. But I do take a lot of little mini YOLOs and stuff like that. But that adds up as far as my winning percentage. But what those people off is you like, okay, well, Jay has a 69, percent winning percentage, but he's bringing in, however much, I bring in, not put numbers out there, but I bring in a nice amount of money a week from trading, right? So even with a 69 winning percentage, I'm still like literally bringing in 4 or 5 times more, right, than my losses, right? So if you can see on my recap, the reason why I'm telling you this is you don't need a high winning percentage. Like everybody thinks like I have to win all of my trades to win. That's not how it works, right? You just have to generate a system that creates bigger winners and smaller losers, right? And once you achieve this, you will be on the path to reaching your trading goals. Everyone thinks the win percentage is the most important, but that's false. With the right, I already said that. The rule that I go by is letting winners run, cutting losers short, right? And that is pretty much that. So now let's get into like actual numbers, right? So let's pause it. All right, so now let's get into the numbers part. We're just going to be using a couple of account examples and go from there. Now, I keep showing people this. I only met one person that actually used it, and their account has been growing, every day. Every time they hit me up, their account is normally bigger and bigger and bigger. But for some reason, every single time I try to show somebody this, they still don't do it. And this is a problem. So let's start with and I already know people already know this. They always say, I already know this, Jay. Tell me something new. That's because you don't do it. That's why you're unprofitable. And you still be hitting me up. Okay. So, all right, let's say that you have a $1,000 account. This is your account, right? You have $1,000 to start with, right? How I do this is we don't want to risk more than 10% of our account per trade. So if we have $1,000, that means that we can have 10 trades, right? 10 trades, and each 10 trade gets $100 per trade, right? If you don't like this, get a bigger account. I'm just trying to show you, right? So you have 10 tries to mess up. So you have to understand this. The only way when you have to, like, I want you guys to start thinking like this. The only way for you to blow your account, because a lot of people do have fears of blowing their account. The only way for you to blow your account is to lose 100% on 10 trades, right? And that's the thing. We're not going to lose 100% on 10 trades, right? So you have 10 trades, you split, where we getting that 10 from is you're doing 10% of this account. If you want to do smaller than that, you can do 5%, have 50, and you got 20 trades. I don't care what kind of math you're using. We're just going to start with like the basics right now. We have 10 trades that we can risk $100, right? Then out of that, we don't want to risk more than 20% max of that $100. So when we come here, we have 20% of that $100, right? So that means for every $100 that we risk, we only can lose $20, right? So if we do the math correctly, it will take us 100 trades, 100 trades. Do the math, guys. It will take us 100 trades to blow our account. 100 trades. Is that likely for somebody to lose 100 trades back to back? Actually, I'm curious. Let me know in the chat. Is this likely for somebody to lose 100 trades back to back? If you got somebody using 100 trades back to back, the problem is with them. It's something with them. They gonna refer them to the mentorship. I'm gonna teach them for free, because if you're losing 100 trades back to back, I don't know what to tell you, right? If you can lose 100 of them. Yeah. Is it 50 trades? My bad. Hold on. Let me do the math real quick. My bad. I might have been telling y'all the wrong thing. Okay, my bad. It's 50 trades. Same thing. Y'all get what I mean. Y'all get what I mean. Y'all get what I mean. It'll take you 50 trades. Is it still likely for someone to lose 50 trades in a row? Very unlikely, right? So that is the only way. So that means, let me put 50 right here, because I know my math people out. Look, 50, you get what I mean. 50 trades. It's still, to lose 50 trades in a row, the problem is with you, right? So now let's break this down. So remember what I said, guys, and this is, I'll refer back to the first part of the class is control what you can control. What did I say? Number one, one thing you can control is how much you can lose on a trade. That's one of the main things that you can control. Can we control how much money we're going to make? No, we don't know how much money we're going to make. We take the trade, we have a projection of how much money we can make, but the stock price is going to do what it wants to do. So why are people, and this is like I know I'm finna hit some right here. Why are people, I don't understand why these traders tell people, hey, get 10% on this trade, get 20% on this trade. I understand that, but in the same way, we never really know how much money we're going to make. So for me, as far as when it comes to building a trading plan and a trading strategy, I mean, the only thing that I can control is how much money I will lose per trade, right? I really can't control how much money I will make. You know what I mean? So when people be like, if you just get 5 trades and 20%, I mean, how do you know that you're going to get 20%? You know what I mean? So why am I trying to make my trading strategy based off of what I could put, like my profit goal? You know what I mean? So that's, if that made sense, like I only want to control what I can control, which is how much I can lose on this trade. So you break it up to 10 trades. I hope I'm not losing nobody. I hope I made sense on that one. But we're breaking it up to 10 trades, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And I'm gonna do the other ones in a minute. I don't feel like doing it right now. Okay. So let me erase this because I don't feel like drawing them. Okay. All right, so let's say that our first trade goes, remember, we only have a 20% stop loss, right? Let's say that, and we're just going to use an example of 50%, right? That means you win half of your trades and you lose half of your trades, right? So that means you win half and you lose half. So let's say that our first trade of our $1,000 account is we make 30%, right? We make a 30, this is pretty common, a 30% return on a trade, right? Remember, it's 30% of $100, not 30% of $1,000, right? So, and I'm gonna show you different ways you can do it, but overall, we just make 30%. We win on this trade. There we go. We made $30, right? We made $30 on this trade. Now our account is at $1,030. Next trade, we also called that a winner. I'm gonna have to be realistic with you guys. You know, I do have a lot of my trades go over 100%, right? So let's just say this trade went 100%. We're just going to use regular numbers, right? And people are like, OJ, that's under. Come on, y'all been in this mentorship for a minute. You guys know how common 100% is, right? So let's say this particular trade, you make a 100% return, you make $100. Somebody might ask me real quick, for the people that be zoning out, why am I not, putting, a profit target, or why I'm not saying 20%? Because like I said, I'm controlling what I can control. The only thing I can control is how much money I can lose on a trade. I can't control how much money I will make, right? So therefore, I'm going to maximize that. I'm not going to limit myself to 20%. I'm not going to limit myself to 10%. I'm not going to limit myself to 5%, because we do the work. Trades can work. Trades can go way more higher. It all just depends, right? So I'm not going to limit myself to my profit potential, right? So let's say the next trade, we're going to do all winners first. So let's say that the next trade is 20%, right? So let's speed it up a little bit. And I'll show you guys a way that you can do it. If you don't want to break it up into 10, you want to do 5, it's pretty much the same thing. You just got to adjust the risk a little bit. So let's just say you make $20 here, and then we have 50% again, something like 50% here. Okay. Excuse my handwriting, guys. It's way better in person. It's hard to draw on this whiteboard. Okay, so we have 30%, 100%, 20%, 10%, and let's just say 70% here, right? Because we want to take trades that can give us the most money. So there we go, right? So these are our winners. So based off of 5 trades that we won, we have 30 plus 100 plus 20 plus 50 plus 70. So total, we have 270, right? This is how much we won so far in our first 5 trades, is 270, right? So next we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, because I know people like numbers. So let's say, remember, our max loss is 20%. So that means the most we can lose on all these trades are $20. So let's just hypothetically, I'm not about to draw it. Let's just say that we lost every single trade. We hit max loss on these. I'm not going to write it down on each one, but I'm about to just show you. Let's say that we hit max loss on 5 trades. So what is that? That is 5 times 20. That's $100. No, I did not use the calculator. I had to drink something. So that's $100. So right off the bat, you see, with a 50% win rate, if you have 5 losers that hit max loss, the most you can lose in those 5 trades is $100. So what did that do, guys? What did that do? That means your account is still up $170, right? And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to think like this when you're in your trades, is if you manage risk, even with taking 5 losses, max loss 20%, you're still in profit, right? Now, imagine if your win rate was higher than 50%, still using the thing, then obviously you're going to have more money, right? Because there's weeks that I go 8 for 10. There's weeks that I go 100%. There's weeks that I have no losses at all. Those are very rare, but it happens, right? There are some times where I can go 10 trades in a row without 1 loss, right? And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. If you manage risk, you can still grow your account. Do this over the next 3 months, something like this, and you see what I mean. You see how you're in it. It's teaching you consistency, taking money and doing it this way. I promise you, you will then start to like accept losses. Like this is for you to accept losses. This is what this is for. This is the beginner risk management plan that I have for people to get them conditioned to be able to take losses and move on, right? If you have a problem with cutting losses, I highly encourage you to try this over the next 3 months or just the duration of this mentorship. And it's going to condition your mind to be okay with taking losses. Trust me, guys, you will be okay with taking losses once you're managed well, right? You won't even care. It's like clockwork, right? Now, you can see how this is what happens though. Let's do this, right? Now let's show y'all something, right? So let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all. I hope this is making sense. So let's say, all right, you went 5 trades back to back, and now you are at a $270 on your account, right? Boom, you did it, $270 on your account. And let's say that trade number 6, you say, Jay, you know, I'm tired of using $100 per trade, right? I think if I can put the whole $1,000 in one trade and then do 20% of that, then I'll be good, right? Because if I make 70% of $1,000, you know, I have $700, right? This is literally what happens, right? You did everything right. Then on that number 6, right? You say, well, Jay, I'm gonna just do the $1,000, right? But I'm gonna still have my, you know, I'm gonna still manage my risk, right? So boom, you put the $1,000 in, then you have that 20% stop loss minus 20%. There you go. Now you just lost $200, right? You just lost $200, pretty much wiping out most of your gains from your winners, right? So then what happens is you're used to this. So then what you're going to do is, now that you then lost all of that, you're going to try to get that right back. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back in your whole account. You're going to probably try it again. This time your account probably is lower. So now you're going to keep holding the loss. And then pretty much all of this is gone, right? All of this is gone just that fast, right? Because you broke your rules, you lost, and then you're going to try to get it back. And you just said, F all of this, boom, there you go, boom, your account is gone. You done, trading is a scam. You're telling everybody in your family that it's a scam. They don't want to trade, all of that, just because you didn't want to listen, you were undisciplined, and you didn't want to manage risk, right? And that is a sad story of how traders end, right? How traders don't make it just because of doing this, right? Whole account gone. So that is pretty much the risk management class, guys. I know it didn't have a happy ending because most of the time it never does when you break your rules have a happy ending. But overall, guys, I want you to practice this because it conditions you to, you know, taking those losses and being okay with them. So if you have a $5,000 account, then you obviously do that. You can see how much money you got. Now, let's say that, you know, you want to risk, and I'm telling you right now, because I'm gonna have those people that try it. Only do this if you can. Phase 1 is doing what I just showed you. Phase 1, that's phase 1, right? Do not try the next thing that I'm about to show you until you at least consistently do phase 1. And I know I'm gonna have those people that say, well, Jay, you know, I grew my account from $1,000 to $4,000 in 1 week or whatever. I understand that happens, guys, but at the same time, you know, it comes a time and a place for that. But overall, right now, I'm teaching you how to grow an account the right way. Yes, we do have people, and I'm one of them, that can grow a account from, you know, like I said, my last big account that I grew an account from $7,000 to $100,000 in less than 3 weeks. So we have stuff like that. That's not realistic. I'm here to tell you the truth. That's not realistic. That's not sustainable. You know, once you're confident in what you're doing, you can then take those risks like that to size like that. But first of all, right now, we want to focus on compounding an account, right? That's what we're focusing on, compounding your account right now. So then in the future, once you understand how to compound your account, yeah, you can go mess off $1,000, see if you can gap it up. The problem is people try to do that with their main accounts. That's the problem. They try to do that with their main accounts. right? They try to 1,000% return their main accounts, right? And they end up blowing them. I know we all have been there where we didn't gapped up accounts somehow, and then we think and we figure out why we can't do it no more, or why we blow it. It's because what we did was unrealistic, and it's not sustainable. So unfortunately, guys, if you joined the mentorship because you thought that there was a secret to gapping your account up overnight or something, I'm sorry, but that just don't exist. Now, for example, let's say that you took what was it? Cat, right? You had a $5,000 account using this trading plan, $500 per trade. If you took Cat last week, right? If you did the $5,000 account and you put in $500 per trade, and you would have did that trade, if you would have put in $500, you would have made $7,500 off of just $500. So yeah, I get what I'm saying, as far as you will have those trades that go crazy, but at the same time, risk was managed in that way. Okay, your account gapped up like that. All right, that's totally fine, right? But that is unrealistic to do all the time, right? And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Manage your risk. Now, let's show y'all another thing. So you can play with it a little bit, let's say that we know that we want to risk 20% of 10% of our account. So like, let's say that you want to size a little heavier, then that means you need to adjust your stop loss accordingly. So let me make sure I do the math right, because I haven't had to do this. But let's say you had $1,000 account, and the most you can lose is $20 per $100. So hold on, let me make sure I do the math right before I just say it. Because I never had to do it this way, but I did think about it before we just got on class here. So let's say that you wanted to, and I don't recommend this. Let's say that you wanted to put in at least $500 on a trade. So if you want to do, like I said, I don't recommend this, but it is possible. Then what you would do is you would break this down to where, like, you would break this down to divided by, let's just do, you would divide that by, because $100, divide that by 5. So you would divide this by 5. So 4. Oh gosh, that got me doing math, man. That's why I said I need a calculator. So, okay. So, and like I said, it's possible, but let's say that you just say, okay, guys, I'm going to throw in $500 on this trade. Then your stop loss needs to be $4 to still keep that that risk matter. Did this make sense? I know I just probably threw some people off. It makes sense when you get a bigger account. But like, let's say, I don't recommend this, but I'm just saying, like, this is the problem. Like, if you do decide to go, if you feel really confident about a trade, because I'm honest, guys. I understand. I know it'd be some trades where you're like, man, I gotta go a little heavier on this day. I can't do the 10%. Not recommending this, but understand, if you do decide to size up, your stop loss has to still be according to that, if it were just $100 per trade. So technically, to me, this is not worth it, because I'm probably gonna get stopped out immediately. But overall, like, you still want to be able, if you do size up, and you still, if you like, it's kind of trying to make it, because I know people gonna do this, but this is the way. If you do it this way, this just keeps you from, you're breaking your rules, but you're not fully breaking it, because it's still as if you were doing $100 per trade. You just size more, but understand, the more you size, the tighter that stop loss get. That's what I'm trying to show you, right? That's what I'm saying. For this one, this doesn't make sense. So it's best to just, it's best to just do it this way. Can I do an example with a $5,000 account? Got you. I actually already did this one. But same thing with a $5,000 account. That's why I like the $5,000 accounts. They just seem, the gains are a lot more sustainable. So you're going to risk $500 per trade, and you got 10 trades, right? $500 per trade with a max 20% stop loss. So you only can lose a max $100 per that $500 per trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say that your first trade goes 100%. We're just gonna use 100. We gotta have 100% because I'm a 100% trader, guys. So let's just say your first one of your trades go 100%. Boom, you got $100. I mean $500. Let's say that this one goes 50%. There you go. You have 250. %, 150. I'm just trying to show y'all like it really gains really can add up, guys. 20% on here. My bad, guys, on my hand right now. I'm just trying to get y'all to see $100. And these are all of our winners. Like I said, if you go on a 50% win rate, but even if you do this, I'm not gonna do it because I don't, y'all can play with the numbers as you want, right? But even if you had a 40% or even a lower success rate, you still will be profitable using it because, right, you're cutting your losses and you letting your winners run, right? So let's say we have another 50% here. So we have another 250, right? So your total for your winners, like I said, with a bigger account, obviously you get more sustainable gains, right? That you probably will prefer. But if you don't, right now, we're not here to make gains. We're here to learn how to make gains. And then we'll make it. So over 5 trades, you made a total profit of $1,250. Let's say that you hit the max loss. Let's say that you hit the max loss on your next 5 trades. The max loss is $100. So that means the most you lose over the next 5 trades can be $500, right? So that means once you minus that, you're still up $750 over the last 10 trades, right? Right? And we keep doing it, rinse and repeat, and go from there. Do y'all see what I mean, though? Like, is this making sense as far as like gains? Like, does this make sense? Is everybody sticking with me? Like, y'all see how we're still able to take all these losses? 5 losses, 50%, that's kind of big. But as you can see how even if we hit max loss, and understand, not every, you guys, you know me, not every loss is going to go negative 20%, right? We've gotten trades before. I mean, just the last 2 weeks before this week, the last 2 weeks before last week, right? The biggest loss that we took was 12%. The biggest loss we took was 12%. So understand that. Do it away from max losses and just getting used to cutting losses when the setups is not invalid. There you go, guys. Your account is grown. This is just max loss. Literally over the last, like I said, the prior 2 weeks, the most we lost was 12%. We never hit max loss on none of those trades, right? So understand, over 10 trades, that is how the account is grown, right? Is this making sense? Cool. Like I said, you can start whatever account that you want, right? Just like understand, guys, if you start with $1,000 account, your goal shouldn't be to like, in a way, not to make money. Your goal should be to build consistency. And the reason why is because I tell a lot of people this, right? A lot of you guys got better jobs than I had when I was coming up in trading. A lot of you guys probably have money to put in the market. You're just not confident enough to put the money in the market because you're afraid that you're going to blow it, right? Once you understand how to trade, I promise you, once you learn how to trade, guys, you're not going to be scared to fund your account. Once you know how to do it the right way, you're not going to be scared to put that 5 grand, that 10 grand in because you know what you're doing. You're going to know how to properly manage your money. Then you're able to make money, right? Now, if you don't have the funds, that's totally fine. I didn't have it, right? Go do that extra time. Focus on learning. If you got $1,000 right now, focus on being consistent with that. So if you can do that, guys, I'm trying to show you it works. Let's look at $100,000, right? Account size I normally trade with on a day-to-day basis. Okay. I don't really like to trade with $100,000 no more. I do about 30 grand right now, 30 to 50K. Do it that way, right? $3,000 per trade, right? Do it that way, 100%. That's 3,000. Y'all see what I mean? Y'all see what I mean? Like it grows quickly, right? But I have did the same exact strategy with $100,000 account, guys. Think about it. I 100% a trade, right? I'm up 10 grand already. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now I understand everybody not gonna be able to trade with $100,000 account. I don't even like trading with $100,000 account. Normally, when I see $100,000, I normally that's when it's time for me to withdraw. So just keep that in mind. Yes, there's a way. But other than that, I don't want to get too much into like making this a question session. As far as that, that's kind of what I want you guys to do. So let's just go over homework really quick. So for homework, we have a couple of things I want you guys to do. I want you guys to submit I see somebody already submitted in homework tab one, a couple of people. I want you to submit your Atomic Habits. If you have a PDF file, if you have a hard copy, I want you guys to submit saying that you got it. Your whiteboards, if you have your whiteboards, I want you guys to submit those. That's what I asked you to grab. If you can't grab it, that's totally fine. I just kind of want to see. And I also wanted you guys, I'm about to send the things now. I want you guys to if you don't have a printer, it's fine. But if you do, I will highly recommend it. If you can print out the chart pattern stuff that I'm about to send you to kind of have those on your desk. As far as physical homework, guys, I want you to use, let me try to do it without being too personal. Some people kind of care about that. I wanted you guys to go in and use a account size that you're probably after the mentorship let me make it make sense. I don't know, I'm talking too fast. After the mentorship, I know a lot of you guys are going to fund your accounts with a certain amount. So I want you guys to go in and give me what we literally just drew. Give me at least 4 weeks of, doing a plan. So the reason why I want you guys to do this is do like 4 weeks of it. So that means do 40 different trades. So 40 different trades, random generator, play with the percentages, all of that. Do that for me. Do at least 4 weeks worth, and then send me your account balance. You get what I mean? I don't know if that made sense what I just said about the homework. The reason why, because I'm not making you guys do anything just to do it. I want you guys to do an example is so you can see it yourself rather than just looking at how I'm doing it, right? You can see it yourself, right? You can see how if I had a $5,000 account and I'm doing these random percentages, if I got a $5,000 account, what is it going to be in 4 weeks? You get what I'm saying? And do it so that way you can kind of see it. And when I started writing those down, I mean, I literally, guys, when I first learned this, I was writing down random account sizes. Like, man, when I get that, I'm gonna do that. When I get that, I'm gonna do that. And then once it got there, it was like, well, shit, you already wrote it out. So here it is. It's time to do it. You didn't wrote it out. You didn't wrote it down. It's time to do it. It's here, right? It's here. So I want y'all guys to do that. And also, I want you to write down your discipline rules always. I can send you another copy of mine of just rules that I have. Put it in your notes. So let me recap. So I'm gonna write this down too. So submit your whiteboard Atomic Habits, and I'm gonna send the chart patterns, print them off if you can. Secondly, I want you to write down the account sizes and kind of do 4 weeks worth of data. And then lastly, I want you to write down a discipline plan that you're going to go by every single day that you trade in this market. You're going to read it every single day that you trade. You can send that a screenshot. You can write it down however you want to do it. Mine's are in my notes on my phone, my iPhone notes. That's where mine's is. But other than that, guys, this was our risk management class. Please go back and watch it if you can and go from there. I hope that everybody learned something. We will have another risk management session throughout the mentorship. But hopefully you guys learned something. Let's go ahead and make money. Yep, submit all the homework. All of these homeworks that I'm asking, submit it in homework tab 1. And I'm going to put the homework I'm going to type it again so you guys can actually read it because I probably just confused some people. But other than that, guys, hope you had a great day. I'm excited for the rest of them, but I know we have to go over the basics first, which is, risk management. and then we can get into more advanced stuff. So just trust the process. Don't rush the mentorship. I'm telling you, it will pick up, right? Don't rush it. All right, guys, I'm uploading this right now.